Everybody here? All right. As in attendance, welcome, Town of Brookfield Municipal Building Committee. Today is a regular meeting, Tuesday, July 18th, and start time is about 7:12. Right? First item on the agenda, the approval of the June 20th, 2023 meeting minutes. Everybody's looked them over.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
High school locker room update. Eddie's not here. Did he give you an update on this?
The project is on schedule and should be completed with most work done within the next few weeks. Signage and new lockers will be the last items completed, but everything's expected to be done prior to the start of the school year. Pay application number 5 was reviewed and approved. Steve Denby, chair for this meeting. And we have a number of PCOs on the agenda. Do we do this now or do we do this?
Yeah, that's item 3B on the agenda, the next item. You have anything? Hey, Damien.
On the schedule, everything's set. We've been a while.
Okay.
Schedule finished up.
You guys have anything to add for the high school? Any questions for them on the high school? Okay. Next item would be the PCOs. In your packet, besides the PCOs, we also sent out the high school accounting that Marcia does for us every month. And right now, on that, I'm going to take, we have a large change order or PCO that was for the asbestos abatement that popped up on there. So she had a balance here, where did it go? First page. Okay.
Which balance, Paul?
The contingency balance.
53,448.95.
All right, and then we take away 35 from that, which was 35,000, which was the abatement, and we're somewhere around 19,000. 18 and change, 19,000. So the reason I bring that up is we're going to need to go to the Board of Finance, looking at some current PCOs that we have before us, and request additional contingency. I did speak with Marcia a few weeks back. The middle school project came in under, and we returned the unencumbered contingency back to town fund balance. However, since that was in a different project year or capital year, it couldn't be moved. She does have some thoughts and some items that did come in on this capital year that came in under budget, that she has some leeway with, but this is something that the NBC will need to send in the request for. And we're gonna need any other outstanding PCOs looking ahead.
Aside from what's in right now, at best, I think there may be 2 more.
Okay.
Probably in 10 total.
So if you can just send me an email with a rough order of magnitude on those two. This way we can kind of round off and make our request. We only want to go back with that request once. Don't want to go back with the request on the second time. So with that being said, with the $18,000 or so, by charter, we cannot exceed our expenditures. Thankfully, what I'm looking at is about 11, 12, 13, just north of 18,000. The only change there is that we had a PCO 15 that we ordered a CCD on, which was the electrical, to allow you guys to proceed. I would take that, I would set it aside for this evening and look at 16, 17, and 18 because they're more critical items as far as shower pans and things that need to go in. This way you can get them done. Yeah, exactly. And girls' toilet floor leveling, stuff like that. So if I can get a motion on 15 to table it,
So moved.
and 16, 17, and
second.
18. So I have a motion from Josh on 15 and a second from Rob on tabling PCO 15. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So PCO 16 in your packet was ceiling and wall demo and finish work. We took down a number of existing partitions. The existing condition of the wall underneath them was undesirable. So we had some additional demolition and drywall work to do. And I thought it was a use.
Thank you.
Electronic copy with you.
I don't think there's any copies in the packet, but they were on.
They were in the electronic packet.
They were in the electronic.
Yeah,
packet.
it's
Yeah, they're in the
download
digital
right now.
packet. Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion to approve PCO 16 in the amount of $5,586.72 for wall demolition and reconstruction.
Seconded.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, PCO 17 was the shower pan change in the toilet rooms. Due to we have tunnels that went underneath, and some areas had recessed shower pans for ADA clearance. With the tunnels underneath, obviously you couldn't chip away the concrete to set these, so they had to change it to a zero entry or barrier-free entry shower pan that sits on top of the concrete slab. So that was in $2,300. Pass that over to you to take a look at.
You're gonna make a motion to approve PCO number 17 in the amount of $2,300 for an ADA compliant shower pans and their installation.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
And lastly, we had PCO number 18, which was the girls' toilet floor leveling. Obviously, there's two sides. There's the new toilet rooms that are accessible from the outside. On the girls' side, again, existing conditions where the walls were taken down left us with a condition where the floor was sloped. So we had some remedial concrete work to do there.
We'll make a motion to approve PCO number 18 in the amount of $6,818.45 for floor leveling in the girls' locker room and toilet area.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. And that brings us to the end of PCOs for the high school project. There's no formal change orders that have been submitted to encumber past PCOs, so that item will be closed. We're on to the new school project, O and G.
Just one point of order for you.
Yeah.
The Board of Finance, we said, talked about taking it to a contingency to push forward, you have to go to the Board of Selectmen first.
Well-
They've been very stickler on that, so
Okay.
just think about your dates, right?
Okay.
Because the Board of Selectmen will be the first Monday of the month.
Of
The Board
August.
of Finance will be the middle of next month, so if you need decisions fast as night, you're gonna have to go to those times.
Okay, thank you, Bob.
At this point,
No, that's a big help. That's good. Really good thought.
I find myself writing letters to Tara and not to Glenn.
I was just gonna throw it in Marcia's lap.
I would like to acknowledge the new executive assistant in the First Selectman's office. She's very prompt, very courteous, and yeah, kudos to her for getting stuff done.
Yeah, she's very good. All right, new school project, construction phase. Dave?
Okay, just first, Tim's not here, his wife had a baby last week, so.
What do they have?
Boy.
A baby?
Oh, fantastic.
Weren't you paying attention?
Cassie and everyone's healthy, so Tim's
Good.
taking a little bit of time. He'll be back truly in the saddle by middle of next week, and so
Congratulations to
congrats.
him.
I will.
He didn't think to take his full 12 weeks?
Huh?
He didn't think to take his full 12 weeks?
Let's just, it's two, Paul, and
Two?
seems like a month, so.
Yeah, I'm
let's not-
sure.
Let's not extend it to 12. Okay, so I'll go through the commentary, hit the big points. The timber boardwalk construction is complete, and we're expecting the bridges on site right around the 4th or 5th of August. Now that the abutments are done. Sidewalk installation's ongoing, that the stamped concrete mock-up is being done on the 24th. At this point, we're waiting for those stamps to come in, it should be in the end of the week. Abatement's ongoing, along with demolition. We had an original plan that we bought in the documents as far as demoing to a certain extent to allow some site work, but it does split one of those underground detention systems that, looking at it, is a little complex because of the grade, so we are working with Stanford on some sort of an acceleration cost for
Okay.
them to get further, so that entire, the 120 system, whatever, to get it installed, rather than trying to only do half and then come back later, so we're working on that with them. And I know we owe you a cost on the canopy salvage.
Yep.
I'm working on that. Mass earthwork on the south lot's ongoing. The Learn to Grow courtyard, the added walk is ready to pour, and exterior wood siding at the low roofs is just about done, I think, in the next couple days. Shifting to inside, an overall statement is, with the exception of a couple minor areas, all the terrazzo is now done, and we're going through and removing protection now. In most of the areas, there's a few areas where we still have some lift traffic that we're keeping it, but the homosote and plywood is coming up. Kitchen equipment is final connections and testing are ongoing. They were in there today removing protection, and that's ongoing. Main hall cloud ceiling, that's the Acoustibuilt. That's following that P-fixture install, which is now done. The cloud ceiling, they're getting ready to spray. They're finishing taping. Ceiling tile installations ongoing throughout the building. Just another general statement there. There's going to be an influx of manpower this Saturday. We're going to go through all the miscellaneous areas and really start padding out.
Okay.
There's some colored tile, though, that we were short, so we're waiting for that to come in. So that won't be included in that, but as far as the white ceilings, that should be all padded out by the end of the weekend. The wall paneling in Area A started following the overhead work. Shifting to Area B, the ceiling grid and one ceiling installation is just about all done. The elevator area is really what's last, and then some of the wood on the ceiling where they're putting those folding panel walls right now. The media center pergola installation's ongoing, along with the wall graphic. Media center and gym vertical lift and folding door installation is ongoing. Bench framing and sheathing is just about done. I think there's one left to do, and we met with the finished trade today, and they're gonna be out, I believe, in the next week to start putting the finishes on those benches. And then window shade installation is ongoing. They're coming back out to finish next week. Area C, high points there, the kitchen equipment install is complete. Classroom sink installation is ongoing. Storefront install and ceiling grid are both complete now, and the sawtooth glass between gross motor and lower cafeteria is now done. I know we're all set with that, the mock-up of the finish, so
Yep.
we're gonna get that into production, so we can get that out there. That's really the last big thing in gross motor before we do the fluid applied flooring, because
Okay.
nothing can happen over that floor when it's
Yeah.
done. So, and there's no margin for error for something to damage it, so that's really what we're waiting on there. And then the carpet and sheet vinyl, that should be wrapped up the end of this week. Area D, the concrete grinding's done, VET flooring is done, and the carpet and sheet vinyl, we should be pretty much wrapped up the end of this weekend with that. Looking at areas E and F together, they're pretty much in the same spot. The Bradley sink installation's complete, metal panel installation's complete, the VET flooring is complete, and the last effort is really the carpet sheet vinyl, which once we're coordinating that with those graphics that are coming in at the sculptures,
Right.
so we can do the corridors and then pull our way out of there. So those are the high points, unless someone has a specific question about work.
Exterior-wise, how are we set with the wood trim around the windows?
So the wood trim around the windows is done. The window sills are not in yet. We're still finalizing details there. It's not an occupancy issue per se. We're trying to figure out how to adapt to the cedar and get metal in there, so.
Thank
But
you.
the trim itself is all in, and the majority of the wood on the building is in, with the exception of some spots where the breakout rooms are.
Mhm.
There's some wood that's gotta finish there down low, but the stuff up on the roof is pretty much all done now.
Thank you, Dave.
Any other questions? Thanks, Dave. Chris?
So we have STL, testing agency, working on site, we're gonna continue, soils compaction, rebar inspections, and concrete testing. Colliers continues, to, review, reports for startup reports as well as, balancing reports, as that continues on. R&B has been on site installing the, smart boards that were removed and then for replacement. They put in, the conduit in the gym, for the roof systems, and as well as some projectors. Furniture continues to come in. We have Red Thread, at the main office area. They're gonna be back, on Thursday to finish up the reception area. Meteor has been on site. They placed the second floor, today. In the past couple of days, they've been on site, installing on the first floor. That is just being stacked up for the time being, and then will be moved in place later on. Robert Lord has been on site, bringing in the bookcases, for all the, classrooms. We also have, playscapes and smallwares, which have been under review by the state. The smallwares has been approved, so that has been, released, and we actually started receiving some of those items today.
Great.
The botanist has been on site verifying the, sage that's been, relocated, and that there's been no issues there. Design team's been on site, SLR especially, reviewing the unsuitable materials in the parking lot. We just received that report, yesterday. So there'll be some, remediation work that has to take place there. Move management, Myers completed the move from Huckleberry, which, is good, because that is being demoed. We do have them coming back, and we're gonna start on Thursday, moving center school over, now that we have, flooring in, lower grade, classrooms. And Eagle Environmental is on site, overseeing the abatement and demo process.
All right. So, Chris, couple of questions. Where are we on the petrographic analysis? I know they
That
took
was-
cores a number of weeks
Correct,
ago.
we took the course, and, I believe that was a 8-week lead time.
8 weeks, okay.
I will, follow up.
All right, commissioning of mechanical systems?
Correct, that is underway. They've been doing, they did a preliminary balancing report, which just came back.
Okay.
I just saw that come back today. I have not reviewed it and see what the comments were. But they have been, moving throughout the building, in all the areas, A, B, C, and, excuse me, D, E, and F. in
Okay.
Classroom wings.
All right.
So they've been focusing on those. There are some areas that have been a little bit tight based on the, materials that we moved over from Huckleberry. So, but they are underway, and, once we get that, balancing report, that'll go over for review.
All right. Jack, is there anything you want to see on the commissioning or balancing reports?
Well, I'd like to look at it when they're done. I got
You want to look at the finish, or you want to look at as they're kind of going on?
If I have the opportunity to look at them while they're going on, I'd like to do that. I'll
Chris?
coordinate with you, Chris.
Yeah.
Okay? And the other thing is, you haven't started video training yet, have you?
Have not.
Oh, okay. Because the teachers, not the teachers, but the administration people in the building, they should participate in that training when you look at the security systems and the PA systems and those kind of things.
I actually started having that, I had that conversation before
Okay, good.
Just haven't been there up that far yet.
Right.
But we are looking on putting a schedule together.
And, right, because we have a listing of all the training, so I don't know,
Correct.
let me know if have you received that from us yet? To
Well,
know
I have
what's there,
my
and then,
own,
okay,
yeah.
so I think at this point, we know what has to be done. If you wanna start off by saying, when do you wanna do it, then we can, I mean, really, it's a matter of, there's gotta be available, the right people have to be at it.
Yeah.
right?
And I think the careful coordination with Dan Caldwell is gonna be key, because as you both are well aware, that summertime, custodial staff is busy cleaning these schools, doing repairs, getting things ready for the fall, so,
I think, according to this morning's conversation, it sounded like Dan was willing to wait until after the beginning of school, just so they can get everything all finalized there.
he would be the one you would need to coordinate with, and if there's training, security, and otherwise that needs to happen prior to school starting, I would recommend starting those conversations with Dr. Burrell directly. O&M training, obviously Dan Caldwell will be the person, other stuff. Please make sure Dr. Burrell is copied on those correspondences.
Correct.
Okay. Bob, you have anything to add to that?
To that specific question, or?
Yeah, to that specific question. Okay.
Don't ask him again. It sounds like he's a list.
Rough order of magnitude on unsuitables. Are we following the same sort of process, GPS coordinates and
That's
such?
my understanding,
Well,
yes.
the only thing is, are we on, because I think when we had this at the beginning of the project, SLR was on site, I think full-time during that operation, right? Confirming the extents to which the removal is so someone's gotta say, yep, you're at the spot that we believe is
Yeah,
the
I get
correct
that.
spot, right? I don't believe that's for us to determine that for ourselves, so who's gonna make that determination? Will SLR be out there full-time, or is it someone else that's gonna take on that?
I don't know if they'll be here on full time for that. I know when we did the test bits, we saw what she was looking for in terms of, what was solid ground, and just down below the wood panels.
So who's making the determination of whether what's a suitable and what's an unsuitable base?
That's a very good question.
And I think that's what Dave was asking.
Right, I mean, I think someone
Yeah.
should be verifying that, right? 'Cause in two and two, cause then you gotta make sure there's a basis there for the quantities, it's unit price based.
Right. So, well, let's start, it's a good point. Let's start with where the cut is now. Is that the top of what it's supposed to be, their subgrade?
They're still working on that, so as
Okay.
far as what I understand from the team today is that they're gonna be ready to start removing unsuitable soils by Tuesday or so of next week, because they're still working on that cut. in the
All right,
area.
okay.
So
they're-
that's-
they're
Yeah,
not- they're
yeah.
not there-
They haven't dug down
They're not
yet,
there
so to
today,
speak.
but like areas,
Yeah.
right. My understanding is that as of today, it's okay, but come like Tuesday, we need to be ready to go.
All right, so it's gonna be cut to subgrade to a sub-base elevation.
Yep.
And at that point, then the GPS coordinates are gonna be used to quantify our unsuitables, removal. At which point, we're gonna need somebody from SLR to verify, during this cut operation, how far down they need to go and when they need to stop.
Right.
So,
Okay?
all right?
We're done. They submit everything.
Whatever the methodology was that we used at the beginning, is what we use
Same.
now.
Do you have a timeframe for how long this is gonna take? A week, just so they can plan, they know how long the contract's gonna be out there for?
Well, I think the other component of that is that we're gonna be meeting with Gerber to figure out the plan to make sure, because obviously where this unsuitable is, it's where we gotta put stuff in to finish the site for the end of the summer. So,
Yeah.
So we're working on a schedule to figure out how do we maintain the end date with that work that we're doing there, so, I don't have an answer right now, but I can certainly get it to you in the next couple of days.
It's in a rough order of magnitude,
Right.
so they can plan.
Yeah,
So they can know
I have a
what's going
funny
on.
feeling that it's gonna be probably at least a couple week task, at least. I think it's
Two
some,
is pretty-
yeah, it's some yardage, it's like,
Well,
it's like
how long-
almost 3,000 yards maybe?
When we were doing the building footprint, how long
must have that information, we can find, I don't know off the top of my head, but we can certainly find
Yeah.
out. I mean, that operation went on for a while, but I don't remember the numbers for you today.
I don't know
You weren't
anything
here,
about
so I
that.
can't.
All right, well, we should, SLR should have it in their records too. So. Okay,
Question, Chris, what's the status on the window distortion review?
That report has come back, that has been sent over to, Paul and Josh.
well, but Tim then came back with comments, and then it went back to,
Correct, the second report
Okay.
was sent to me.
Okay.
check. Be able to let, I will look for it, so as soon as I find it, I'll send it out to you.
All right, thanks.
All right, so any other comments for Arcadis? Hearing none. The Tim and Jeff Show.
Submittals and shop drawings are wrapped up, but we are still reviewing, operations and maintenance manuals. There's better communication with ONG and Arcadis to reviewing the pond RFIs, the crews out in the field moving, with the wrapped up out here. Design team's made multiple site visits over the past month, and we're just ramping up to get ready to punch this building out. Next month.
Okay.
Is there a date for punch list start?
ASAP. As soon as spaces are finished.
I'll get you an answer on that.
Yeah, just so we can plan.
Yep.
Plan was hopefully to start punching out wings, DE in it as soon as they're, finished and clean.
Yeah, I know, but if we could get some kind of calendar, like SLR, get a calendar, yeah, we can
Yep.
prepare schedules for that.
As soon as you get that schedule, just send it over to us
Yeah,
too,
we'll
so I
send
can
it
share it
over.
with Board of Ed.
Yep.
What about all the warranties? What's the plan for turning those over?
As far as, well, I know I think there were a series of sample warranties that we've already had approved. It's really, well, the
No,
final warranty will be established once we
But,
establish the date.
but the individual warranties, will we get them in a separate book rather than just send them over piecemeal, or what do you?
Yeah, I think there's still a requirement. I don't know, in the digital age, do we even still provide a hard copy binder of that stuff, or is it all digital?
I think that's customary. Usually you get a hard copy
Okay.
binder.
Yeah, I mean, it's all digital. We could print off a hard copy of it, and some of the warranties, I think, are stamped and sealed and stuff,
Okay.
so.
I mean, Caldwell ought to call the shots on that, because that's,
Yeah.
that's typically what's wanted.
It's Derek had basically said that a lot of those warranties they see now are digital.
Yeah,
Oh, are they?
yeah, we haven't gotten hard warranties, recently, it's been all submitted as a separate package, nice PDF, bookmarks, labels, with all the different equipment.
Okay.
But to Dave's point, if we can have them print one out, I believe we still in our specs do, for some print.
Right,
So,
which once it's digital, we could print off a copy and start that.
Okay.
All right, any other things, questions for Tecton? Hearing none, PCOs.
All right. So, make a motion to table PCOs 61R, 130, 142R, 154.
Can you say that one more time?
61R,
Yep.
130, 142R, 154.
Second.
Discussion?
These are all the ones that solved some
I'm sorry.
open questions and finalization and terrazzo and other things.
One question with 61R, even though we're tabling it, just for a point of clarification. The thing has it, the listing has it as the funding source as the owner, and the PCO has it as the CM contingency.
I will change that.
Yeah, defer to what's on the PCO.
Okay, so it's changed to CM?
If
Yes.
the
Okay.
PCO is funded from the contingency, CM contingency, then that's what it should be.
All right.
So with that, who owes you information on those, Josh, do you know?
So 61R, we had a couple of questions on.
I mean,
Right.
the biggest question is,
We bought the fire rated glazing.
we fought, yeah, and in the PCO it says there's a charge for fire rated glazing.
There's a credit of, I forgot what it was, $400 and something or $400 for the specified fire rated glazing, but then there's an ad for the revised fire rated glazing.
All right, so these are some of the
Right, Tim,
questions
is
we're gonna,
that correct?
I don't know the numbers off the top of my head,
But that's
there was
the-
credit for glazing and that for the,
so those are some of the questions we have for the design team on why and items of that nature. This has been out there for, I think the first question
Well,
on
this-
this came up how long ago?
Well, we were only notified not that long ago, but
No.
to go from a $5,000 change of what could have been to 19, now 18.
Yeah.
And I mean, if we needed to buy our new door today, would it cost us $18,000 if it was a new project? I think there's a lot in there.
So do we know your questions of the design team?
We've asked for a call a few times to go through some of these items and on other items as well. It's just, to me, for me, I'll speak for myself. I think there's stuff that needs to be shaked out in it.
So what we'll do is
Like
on
history.
those four that we'll table,
Yeah.
we'll send over a list of questions
Yeah,
that
we
we
could do
have
that.
Yeah, I just don't
from the
want.
committee.
No,
If you
understood.
have questions
Yeah.
for us, we'll answer them.
Yep.
I don't know what they are.
And honestly, some of them we haven't delved into because there's been so much other stuff that's been more important. So that's, to be quite honest and fair about that. So some of it is on us.
All right, so there's a motion and a second to table those first four. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Motion to approve PCO 168A.
Second.
Discussion.
Didn't we already release?
We did, we
These
directed
lights?
the CCD. This
So it was a CCD. That's, yeah,
That was the question, right?
that was the question. And that's what I couldn't remember, I thought.
All right, any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion to approve PCO 168B.
Which is the
The
labor
act,
portion
yeah,
of the same change order.
correct. Just broken out now separately.
Labor and materials, second, by the way. Sorry about that. We weren't supposed to discuss it first.
I was just making a point that this was the second portion.
Yes.
All right, we have a motion and a second discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion to approve PCO 181R.
Second.
Discussion. Which one was this?
This was the
oh, the
steel plates,
At the little
Breakout room.
pop-outs at the.
yeah, which were cut in, I'd say, very nicely, and thing was 2 guys, 20 hours each. I mean, it's
Okay.
she be what she be.
Yep. All right, any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion to approve PCO 198R.
Second.
Discussion.
Keep track of these.
Not quite sure what
That was
BFA comments means.
Oh, that's the start of packet number 2, I believe.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that, I remembered.
This was just shop drawing time. Yeah, this is just shop drawing time.
Should be things.
Okay. Discussion, any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion to approve PCO 199R.
Tim, what is this?
Oh, I'm not quite sure.
Multi-purpose room?
It looks like extra steel or something at the,
Right, extra bracing at the top of the partition, which is, extra partition.
This was way early.
Way early on the project?
This was, building A was up before I even got here. As far as I know, this went back way back.
Yeah, but I seem to remember some discussion at the last meeting about the deck supports weren't sufficient to support the weight of the door.
Thought those were on the overhead doors.
I
This
could-
is,
I-
this is the upper partition on the stage is what I'm gathering.
Okay, I could be mistaken on that, thank you.
I could be mistaken equally as well. So Tim, you don't know what this is for?
So it's been coming out for a long time, just maybe you change it?
Number 199, so it's, I don't have. the
Newer,
exact
yeah.
version, So it's,
Well, let's see, I thought the date was, yeah, May 12th, 2021.
Multi-purpose partition. We had one at one point on the stage that we removed.
Correct. And when they took the steel out, you got,
Quest-
as far as I know, you put in some additional support.
Questions associated with it are on the diagram.
wait, hold on. No,
Have number next to it?
So if you look at the diagram, the questions associated with it that are directed to are on that.
Well, if everybody that put it forth isn't convinced.
something
I
is-
mean, what-
something seems awry, because I'm looking at the PCO log that we used for our call last Monday, right? And PCO 199R, it's not even on it. Something, either that was already approved, or already tabled, or already rejected, but I don't see that we, I don't think that we actually have that as an open PCO.
All right, well, easy enough. I'll make a motion to amend the motion.
Can you do me a favor, can you just table it, so that way it's not
Yep.
an actual rejection?
Yep, no, I was gonna table it, yep.
Yeah, second. And
Discussion?
Nah.
All right, we have a motion to amend the motion to table it. All those in favor?
Aye. All right, make a motion to table PCO 199R.
second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right,
What do you wanna do with
226.
this
Want to ask him about it?
I do wanna ask him about it.
We can make a motion in a second.
Somebody can.
Make a motion, we approve PCO 226, additional pocket details for $2,481.
Second.
Discussion? Tim?
Wanna know what it is?
Yeah, because we haven't had a PCO meeting in,
Several, we
Couple
have
months.
3 pocket doors in the facility,
In
and
the-
trim details were provided for those. So during the RFI, we provided some partial trim
So we're using, I guess my question would be, we're just using 1 by Poplar. 3 openings, trimming out, and I know they're trimming out each side of the door because I saw the detail, but it just seems
These are the media center, right?
to the media center.
One in staff dining, I believe. The materials were fairly reasonable, the labor.
Yeah.
We tried pushing back on the labor. There was
I
no-
mean, 2 days to trim out 3 doors with residential wood. Tot 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 tot.
Since you have a, is it a hollow metal frame that's going around these initially with a flat case?
Nope.
No.
We
No,
originally
there's-
tried
it's-
changing the product to a hollow metal product.
Cause you have a KD pocket door header on this.
It's insert, there's a pocket door frame that goes
Yep.
hidden inside the wall frame.
It's just a pocket door kit.
Yeah, no, I got that.
I mean,
Just the way this head detail looks. It looks like a KD frame.
right.
It just has a gap
Yeah,
in it.
yeah.
So that's why I'm asking, so.
But I mean, to tack that, just.
Well, that's why I'm trying to
I-
figure out, so if you have a KD frame, which is a metal frame, I wouldn't call the wood frame a KD frame, would you?
No, but
So is
I don't think it's. I think it's just a pocket door kit.
It's pocket door kit. Supposed to be fresh.
I mean, not to pick anybody, but if you had a carpenter working for you and took 3 days or 2 days to case out 2 doors, 3 doors. That was my only question, for me. And I know there's more trim with the pocket door than otherwise, but still.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I just don't like the choice of materials in a school that we have, you know, it's just,
We haven't proceeded with this work yet, so.
I know, but it is time critical because we have media centers we need to finish up.
Yeah, no, I get that, I'm just saying, I mean, not that I don't want this to turn into a design charrette, I'm just saying.
No, I
it's
don't
not-
either.
The Poplar's not up there already,
Okay.
but I prefer to stick to the.
At one
plan.
point, we had looked at changing the product to a hollow metal pocket door kit. The shipping, to have those shipped from California to the East Coast was just cost prohibitive.
Can I ask a stupid question?
I got a stupider one, but go ahead.
No, I'm gonna ask a stupid question. We have those corner guards.
Damn it, you stole my question.
See? We have
Boys,
those-
you need to share
we-
your question.
We have those corner guards that were manufactured for, were those made by Conacoustics or were they subbed out?
Oh, the ones that we end up having?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
Cause just pop up one of those on each side and call it a day.
Yeah, but what do you do with the head?
That shipped to the site.
What do you do with the head of it?
Same thing, make it just a,
And I think the problem though is those are, that the distance that returns, you're gonna be into the trap, cause that return on it is the return on the wall is definitely shorter than the leg of that.
On the
yeah,
one
no, I
side.
was thinking about having them fit the size.
And you're gonna spend more than this having them mess around with.
Understood, but it would be an appropriate material
Oh,
for,
okay.
you know, and in keeping with,
You don't have other corner guards in the media center though, do you? Those are-
no, but you have the whole window wall system, which is the same color. And you
Um,
have the whole steel system.
You wanna go a step
You
further?
could- You could paint, you could go and paint these the color of the.
What about piecing together the extra, silestone?
You know what, that's a decent idea.
Of course it is,
Can-
I
can-
said it.
Can you trim it with the corian? Like you did the window jams to be honest with you. You did the
Yeah, yeah.
window jams
Seriously.
upstairs, and you have,
But that, do you know of an extra stash of that material that I don't know about?
well, it depends on if they installed it per the detail or they ripped them down. Because the
I mean,
detail should,
I don't think that material, I don't think there's any more of that.
the chlorine, the wall panel?
Well, I mean, there's all the stuff that's gotta go in the main.
No, no, I get that. I get that.
I'm not convinced that that's gonna get us to a quicker or more cost-effective
Um,
solution.
It's not so much cost effective, it's long-term,
Yeah.
especially a pocket door, wheeling things in and out.
Yeah,
With
it's
bang,
look-
bang,
look and
bang,
feel.
with
I think-
poplar.
I think
Yeah,
time-
poplar's just gonna get dented. Splintered.
Tell you what, approve the change order, and we'll just change it out. I mean, it's stupid. It really is. It just doesn't belong there, not painted.
Paint the poplar. I think
Yeah,
the
but
hours are
now
high
there's-
too, but
Yeah, but then there's gonna be a change order for the painting. Why don't we table this for the time being?
Just in a month from now,
We're gonna wanna be moving into a school.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is that gonna stop us from getting a CO? If 3 doorways aren't trimmed out?
what else could you do?
I mean, even if Nova was doing something. They take those panels back up for the, multipurpose room to stain? Even if they would just provide straight stock
Mm-hmm.
and trim it out with.
Trim it out.
Dave, could we do that?
what's that?
Nova has, the wood panels that are being finished for the multi-purpose room and the lower cafeteria that we just approved today.
Oh, for gross motor, that.
For gross motor, yeah.
My only problem with that is we are so under the gun to get that stuff in production and finished. I prefer to not.
No, I just want 8 pieces of straight stock finished by them. No?
I don't know, I'm just trying to think of the.
I got you.
just
No,
don't
I-
want-
I- I can-
don't
I
want
can
one-
re- I
one
can
little
understand
thing to
that.
hold the big train is
Yep.
the.
Yeah.
I can
No,
understand that.
understand. Understood.
Fine, move forward with the poplar. If we don't like it, we'll just rip it out. All right.
Aye. Then we have to vote on it.
Yeah, motion and for approval and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
I'll make it easy on Catherine.
So moved.
Aye.
Stage extension.
We issued a
CCD issue.
CCD on this.
Yep. That's that metal angle.
Oh, I know
and
what it is.
everything
I'm
else,
trying to
right?
figure out what,
Well, I need a motion in a second first, anyway.
A motion to approve PCO 232R in the amount of $10,842.
Get a nice reverb on your voice there.
it's kind of like a little echo.
Can practice.
Echo,
Yep.
echo.
Can I get a second?
Seconded.
Discussion? Tim,
This grew legs.
is this the final that satisfies all the requirements for those
Yeah,
platforms?
that's good.
Seeing how the manufacturer keeps changing requirements on us every time they set shop drawings, I can't answer that 100% confidently, Paul, but I would say probably.
Okay. So Tim received some bum information during the design process. Was told what depth of pocket we needed for the pull-out platforms in the multi-purpose room under the stage. Shop drawing was sent to the manufacturer, and of course they said, we can't work with 2 feet, we need 2'8". And every time this kinda kept going and going and going. So we ended up bolting a steel angle now to the edge of the multi-purpose room,
Yeah,
right?
steel plate.
This
A
stage
bent, it's a
edge.
bent plate?
No plate.
Okay.
We are adding a steel angle
underneath
to
to,
reinforce the cantilever.
right. Hopefully this is the last iteration of this. And this allows stage floor to get finished. This allows the risers to be installed.
Yep.
Any other question? All those in favor?
Aye. All right. Motion to approve PCO 233.
Second.
The partial credit for putting up insulation and taking it back down, and the credit for not putting up the other insulation. Motion is seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Motion to approve PCO 237 flagpole.
Second.
Last
Right.
month, there was discussion between you and Tim Chan on whether
Panel.
the modifications were shown or they were required. Did we ever get an answer back, a definitive answer back from Tim Chan on this?
Yeah.
And that was what?
They're required.
But they weren't part of the contract documents? All right, so he was mistaken. Okay. Just wanted to get clarification on that. Okay, so any other questions? Motion is seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Stairwell ceiling conflicts.
This was the one that didn't have, this is one that didn't have the photos in the, see the pictures.
Okay.
Alright, so motion to approve PCO 238.
Second.
What happened? Because we don't have photos.
So area E, the two egress stairs,
Yes,
maybe at the corner curtain wall,
yes,
up high,
Yep.
there's an exposed area of structure.
yep,
Originally, we showed some chipboard ceiling there, just an area up high.
okay,
There were conflicts to install that chipboard ceiling, sprinklers and lighting. It was just gonna create too much of depth of structure and
Okay.
shrinking down. So we deleted the chipboard ceilings, left it a painted exposed structure. These are the costs to modify some of the sprinklers that were installed and do a little bit of electrical work for the lighting. It also includes some credits for the deletion of the chipboard ceiling.
so why, go ahead,
No, go ahead. You have the same question I have.
why did we have to modify sprinkler
I
and
understand
lighting?
why we had to modify sprinkler.
Because you have to face it out. Well,
So you have those two, so you took out the chipboard ceilings altogether?
Just in that corner.
Just in the corner?
right, and it's all painted out,
Mm-hmm.
but it had painted sheetrock anyway, with the lighting. Who's that? Is that Ferguson? Was installation desired for queue fixtures?
It's a slightly different electrical rough-in for exposed work versus hidden work.
Yep.
Of sheetrock,
Right.
and then sprinkling modifications.
Whatever. That guy.
Okay. Just move it. Any other questions? Got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Two forty-four?
Motion to approve PCO 244.
Second.
requested by the fire marshal, or just not shown on the documents, what?
All I know is they were needed. I'm not certain of the history on
It
this
says that
rad, or,
It was not shown.
Okay. Any other questions?
nope.
Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Alright, motion, I like the reason. Motion to approve PCO 245. Reason, FM.
Fire marshal.
Yeah.
Second.
Okay, this is the, second courtyard, had stepping stones in there, we'll get some credit from.
FF&E.
FF&E, from the stepping
Or we
stones and
won't
some
spend
other
as much.
areas that we have in
Yeah.
there. But having a hard sidewalk from the exit doors out to the rear sidewalk, our prior fire marshal requested it, we thought it was also a good idea, and so we added it in.
It'll make it
It's
easier
nice.
for snow
It does look
removal
It
and,
looks nice. And
Well, they just prepped, this is the other one, this is the other courtyard that's just prepped right now.
Oh,
But it's gonna
got
look
it.
the same.
It's gonna be the
It,
same.
well, it
Well,
kinda
a
follows.
little bit more,
Yeah,
but it'll,
but for snow removal, for maintenance, for egress,
Safety.
for safety,
safety.
egress during a fire drill, and in the event of a real emergency, it's a better system, so.
I just have one question. Is it 5 feet wide or 6 feet wide? Because I've seen conflicting specifications. Oh, that size, okay.
I think it's 5.
I'll take a look at the sketch that was issued, but I believe it was 5 feet wide.
Well, that's what I thought, but I thought that the documentation said that it was 6 feet wide.
Do you have a PCO packet?
I don't know. It was in that digital thing that I was reading the other day.
It was in the digital thing, okay.
It's not, I figured one of them would know. I mean, I figured Chris would be all over that.
No.
No?
45. Okay. That's 248. Looking at these. You see it or no?
No, I'm,
Oh. Should have thought of this at the beginning of the project. Chris, I want you to tab these next month.
Do it all single side.
oh, it's about yay thick. Okay, let me just back away.
Okay, I withdraw the
Uh,
question.
no,
It's not
say
worth
it.
the
It's a,
effort.
it's a
5 foot.
5-inch thick concrete sidewalk. So that's what I see, is a 5-inch thick concrete sidewalk. The dimensions are too small for me to see.
It's 5 feet wide.
You withdraw the question?
Yeah, I'm gonna withdraw the question. It's just,
All right.
Yeah, let's get moving.
We had a motion and a
it's not
second.
worth slowing down the meeting
All
for
those
that.
in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved.
Alright. That one. Motion to approve PCO 248. That's a roof issue right there.
Second.
The Polish guy and his worker.
Okay. Motion to second. Tim? Continuous blocking of canopies.
The architectural details show the edge metal of the canopies basically being attached to the perimeter structural steel with that plate, which just wasn't a possibility with the roof edge metal. So we had to add some further wood blocking to attach the edge metal to the trim.
Do we have, so we have tapered insulation on these canopies as well?
It's a lot of blocking for $16,000.
Only in some where they.
Cause
the
it,
building is
Isn't it
it's
just,
water.
yeah, isn't it straight insulation, but
Most of it's
cricketed
straight
at the-
insulation.
cricketed where it meets the building,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, because I saw the detail had just the 2-inch rigid, but then like the backup stuff said in like areas it tapered, and then one of the details showed no insulation, so I was all bits of confused. I'm over
Well,
here now.
Yeah, well, you know, it probably does vary, because some canopies tie into the building, also on the returns. So maybe where the returns.
Right, because you're gonna carry that through, and you're gonna have to taper up to match, right? So, oh, and then that whole expansion. Okay, joint thing. They're right. Gravel stop.
All right,
So,
not thrilled with this one.
well, I mean, this is basically it's at every canopy.
Yeah, no, I
So yeah,
get it.
no, I'm saying like in terms of add up the cost. You know, is it $3,000 for the, or $1,500 a canopy? Add blocking.
No, again, I get it.
I understand. It's just I know.
Shouldn't get to this point in the project and seeing change orders like this. Motion is second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Reprep Honcho C-South canopy.
This.
Motion to approve PCO 249
Here we are.
in the amount of $738.
Seconded.
Thank you.
So the question on this is, what was this for?
So the south cafeteria
Mhm.
canopy, I issued an architectural sketch for the layout of the sidewalk out there.
Yep.
My
Yeah.
layout slightly varied from the civil layout, making the concrete pad larger. When we discovered that I was making it larger and was going to incur a substantial change order, we reverted back to the original extents. Turns out the contractor had already started to frame out the haunch edge based on my sketch. This was
Okay.
the cost for them to move
Okay.
that back.
So it's to redo the form work for the
Redo the
honcho.
form work for
Okay.
that.
Okay.
That's.
Yep.
Okay. Got it. Got a motion and a second, any other discussion?
Nope.
Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Motion to approve PCO 250.
Second.
This was adding braces at those stair canopy things.
It's not so much adding it, Josh. I think the issue there, which is
Or-
contingency, is that at the time that they were forming the pockets on the
The
building,
pockets,
where
right.
the cables are, there was confusion as far as where the steel versus the bracket and the width and where the steel anchorage is. The drawing they were going off of was showing one width, but it was not, it was later coordinated to be a different width needed for the actual steel attachment canopy.
During the review of the shop drawings for that canopy, structural engineer noted the canopy was supposed to be wider, 10 feet wide. His intention wasn't to change the locations of the diagonal supports. They were gonna stay on the same location. The guys in the field pouring the ICF, setting the embeds, when they saw the increase in width, they thought everything was gonna expand, including the structural steel angles. So they cast those embed plates wider than they were supposed to be. Wider was getting, number was getting fabricated. So after the fact, when they realized the coordination bust, this was the cost to go in and epoxy anchor new embed plates into the concrete.
So it was a Marguerite issue, coordination issue. They,
because we were.
They made an assumption based off the
problem is
sketch.
At the time, right, the
I got you.
information was developing as we were putting it in, and it's, they went off the information that we believe was correct.
Well, Tim said that information wasn't even issued,
No.
right?
It was the difference of, the canopy was, where it was, thought it was 8 feet, but then it went to 10, but, so Marguerite put the brackets in at 10 feet, but what it was the anchorage was staying at 8 feet, but the canopy was extending to 10, so there was a, paraphrasing, a foot overhang.
Yeah, no, I got
So
that.
that's, it was
But they made it, so Bill never reissued the brackets because, or and
The brackets weren't supposed to change. The
they weren't
brackets-
supposed to change, they were staying,
Yes.
so they made an assumption.
Correct.
All right. Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
This is one we talked about.
Yeah, this is
I don't
one
know
we're gonna
if
have to
there's
talk
something-
about.
We're gonna
Alright,
make a
so
motion to
we're-
table
we're
it.
Yeah, we're gonna make a motion to table PCO 253.
Second.
Seconded.
Okay,
To-
what is the proposed solution in this? Because it has two different things. It says maybe add a backing plate, or, I just wanna figure out where we're at, or, potential bonderized,
You're saying the backup has two separate solutions?
yes.
There
It,
must be one
it
with
says,
price.
it says provide, well, that's, I don't know. Cause it says, specify, order, protect on
Is
direction.
this the one where but is this the one there where
The
either way,
holes.
you don't like either of those solutions, right?
Well, one said like, provide a thin backing plate, and the other, or, it said, I'm trying to find it here, or,
It's right here.
bonderized fill, or bondo aluminum fill, or something like that.
So at some point, the proposal in there, and I said I don't have the packet printed in front of me, someone must have priced one scope or the other, not. the exact-
Right, but I don't know what
Alright, Tim, the backing plate is what's,
is priced. So on that one door, but no others, we'd have a backing plate. Or do we just plug those things?
I think you just use button plugs the color of the doors and
Done.
be done with it.
Yeah, I'm
Because it's gonna
good
be
with
the
that.
least obtrusive, least, yeah, least noticeable. I just don't understand how this came about.
That's a good
Because those
question.
doors were drilled and tapped for these. And you could see, you know, those holes were actually tapped for the screws. So, I'm sure it was in the hardware packet.
I would say that this is not a critical item.
No,
No, agreed. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not,
We could.
we, at the motion's to table it anyway,
Just the table.
but, I just wanted to,
How did it be,
yeah.
come to be?
And not sure, no, it says not sure if aluminum bondo is an option or a thing. I don't know.
Right.
Okay. All right, motion to the table, and second, all those,
I'll go back and look. I believe there was a minor hardware change to those openings, but they had already been shop prepped for that hardware change. That's why the bolts were pretty good.
all those in favor, tabling?
Aye.
So moved. All right, we have a change order for record at the end of your packet here.
Alright, motion to approve, I don't have a number on this one, change order number
22.
22.
100,155.
Lost here. It's on this sheet. There we go, and $100,155 even.
Get a second?
Seconded.
Okay, again, this just encompasses PCOs that were approved at prior meetings as a formality. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
And that was number 22.
That was number
That's
22.
correct. Okay.
That, that was the one that went up to, I believe Tara Carr, Eddie brought up.
Eddie sent it back and forth on email, but I remember in the email conversation, he said it had to be voted on.
All right, I'll take a look at.
I don't want it to mess up the payment if the number's off.
No, no, I got you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
Item 3B.
We can add it into invoices
Yeah,
too.
we should make a point of order.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do the invoices. All right, so, hold on. In your packet, you should have had an unapproved version. It was a pencil copy, but you can pass that down, Jack. Here's the one from Tecton that we received today. We did receive the release of lien that is associated with this, and you did receive payment on application number 4, correct? Okay.
Oh, you're
I
doing
sent
that
out on the 7th. That's odd.
No, the mail was caught.
Okay, thank you for that, because
We got
the,
it.
yeah, the email said it was sent, it was,
We got
okay,
it.
thank you. So, give me one moment. Okay. So we have application number 5 here in the amount of $234,991.51, leaving a balance to finish at the high school of $488,750.39.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Could you give me the amount of that again, please?
It is $234,991.51.
Thank you.
Go back in my packet so I can take action on those tomorrow. Okay, high school, new school project, give me 1 minute. Do the invoices, we did that in reverse, but new school project.
Right.
I have an application for payment.
The application number 28 for Old Industries.
Copy of that, which is nice. Okay. So we have the application for payment in front of us. Anyone?
Make a motion, we approve payment application number 28 from O&G Industries for the amount of $1,100,246.80.
Second.
Comments?
I have a question, and I'm gonna, we've been harping for a few months now about that point of completion versus percentage and whatnot, and I mean, I'll just ask if everybody's comfortable that if you take out demolition of the building and the site work, as of 18 days ago, we're at 95% complete of this building, with some contractors pretty high up there that have a considerable amount of work left to do as well. But we've had 3 entities say okay to this. Are we okay? Are you guys comfortable? Is my question.
We are.
Based on the schedule of values that was given and that's there.
Based upon percentage and overall completion, are you? That's
90,
the question.
95%, 18 days ago.
That's the
18 days
question.
ago, mind you. 95% complete, this building. Inside. Walls inside. We took out site, we took out abatement, we took out demo. Because that's what was put forth to the committee.
I feel comfortable with that. I mean,
That's also included materials on site that haven't been installed yet, which does not
Mhm.
do that.
Yeah. It's just my question.
That's a good question at that.
Yeah.
Okay. We had a motion and a second. And Arcadis's assurance that this is the percentage that the project is at,
18 days ago.
18 days ago. All right. It's been signed by the architect and construction manager and put
Mhm.
forward by our OPM.
Yep.
So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved.
All right. I'm gonna make a Arcadis officially put these forward, right? Yeah. A motion to approve all invoices as presented in the packet from Arcadis in the total amount of $109,426.62.
Seconded.
Discussion.
Only question I had for Chris, with Collier's, I know there was, and I don't think we ever did that PO increase for them. Is this, are they billing under their existing old contract? Okay.
if I'm not mistaken, it's all listed under construction.
Yeah, I thought it was, but I knew that was out there, so I wanted to
Whatever
ask.
happened to their PO request, the upping of their PO?
Nothing.
They just gave up?
Yeah, they never came back.
Okay.
I'm aware of.
Good.
All right.
I know Rob explained it to him when it was originally brought up. He went back to him and told him that there was still work left under, the
Yeah.
original contract.
Okay, good.
Okay. Got a motion and a second for invoices in the amount of $109,426.62. All those in favor?
Aye.
Purchase order increases?
Do we have to? We'd have to approve this anyways.
It's just, the
Increase
approval is
is
just for the
For
increase in the purchase order
increase.
amount, not for
Right,
the purchase
not
order.
for the purchase orders, right, we can figure that out as we go.
Yeah.
All right, so motion to approve all purchase order increase as outlined by Arcadis in the total amount of $60,648.68.
Seconded.
All right. So Chris, on the technology side, the Raper Series lift for the multipurpose room, that was something that was moved, right?
These were on the poles originally?
Right.
Correct. And then
Yep, take it off. Yeah, okay, yep. Okay, and then, the other one was the Samsung display in the lower calf.
correct. That projector got moved to the one that was in area B.
Right.
It's shining on the wall now. And then in lieu of that, they're gonna put in this display.
This was that bigger Samsung display, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Okay, any other questions?
Yes. SLR site visits, is that going to be complete for all of the soil sampling?
we don't know. This is just a PO increase request. It's not, we're not cutting a purchase order for it yet. This was predicated on a prior condition and some additional site visits they needed that they said that they expended their contractual amount of site visits right now.
Okay.
We agreed to allow the purchase order request at this time. But when invoicing comes to task, we'll have to review it at that point.
No, what I'm asking is
It would
this
ha- if it-
sufficient to cover?
Probably not. We would have to go back for another PO request,
Okay.
PO increase request. But since we don't have a rough order of magnitude at this time, we just don't know what that's going to be.
Okay.
You know, unfortunately, the unsuitable fill is a fluid condition right now. We just don't know where it's gonna take us. But I can tell you, walking across the site, even, you know, just walking, you can see that earth moving.
It gets soft, yeah.
It's like a trampoline.
Ooh.
You know, it rises and falls. Yeah. So,
Except for Jeff's shoes. He just sinks in.
Jeff found the one muddy spot.
The one money spot.
The one, just the one. All right, any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Then you got purchase orders.
Oh, there's a whole nother page, is there
Yep.
now?
We have two other invoices for the high school.
Yeah, well, we have to do purchase orders.
Oh, you want to do that one first?
Yep. You're talking about the two bricks. Colette? Two bricks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so motion to, excuse me, approve all purchase order requests as outlined by Arcadis in the total amount of $94,388.66.
Seconded.
Okay, question. These refrigerators have ice and water in them.
Yeah,
Do we have
ice and water
ice and
hookup?
water hookups in these areas for these?
That was originally deleted, part of the project, and then deleted. What I used to go out.
All right, so these two for Bazade, mostly just the refrigerators. You know, if we don't have the ability to hook up for ice and water, I would suggest we get rid of those components in there
Yeah,
and,
before we start tacking up copper coil across walls to have water.
if there's an opportunity to provide that and
Right.
the school district wants ice and water
Right.
in these refrigerators in the faculty workrooms. Now, this says for faculty workrooms,
Correct. Yes.
so these aren't the teacher breakout areas?
Correct. You have each area, each grade
Yeah,
has a workroom and then the actual faculty lounge.
right, but there's only two refrigerators on here.
Correct. And that's to keep it below $5,000.
So are they gonna have two refrigerators every month on this PO request?
No, probably one more.
For 5 more refrigerators? Okay. So, I would like to amend the motion.
Right, to just take those off.
To take
Yeah,
the refrigerators off, all right, until it's determined whether or not you're gonna use ice and water in these, and if you're not, modify the model number, save us the $1,000, but that's something, you know, ask Dr. Burrell, and again, you know, whoever is running that portion of the small wares about.
all right, so make a motion to amend the motion,
Second?
all right?
All
Make-
those in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to approve all purchase order increase except for the Buzzade appliance
Just the refrigerators.
refrigerators for a new total amount of $90,000 $90,891.66.
Second.
You have an
No, I was looking at the microwaves.
Okay.
And my back check works.
No, my bad on
No,
that.
no, that's fine. So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yep. Good.
All right, so that is it on the CLES. We do have 2 orders of business left on the high school as far as invoices. I kind of mixed up the order. We did your application for payment. We have 2 invoices from Brooks Environmental. One's for $800 and one's for $23.85. And this is for the asbestos and project design for the high school locker room project.
So moved.
I
Second.
have a question.
You can, that's a question, I'll get a second.
Second.
I think they seconded before you did.
Okay.
All right. Question.
The section of the building that we're working in, is that the section of the building that was built in 1959 or in 1974?
I don't recall, but why?
Because asbestos materials would be present in a building built in 1959. In 1974, they would have been banned.
That's not necessarily true. And I'll give you an example. The new school in Pauling, and some 8 years later, now in New York State, we have to attest, and I'm sure it's the same in Connecticut, that no new building materials have any asbestos in it.
Right.
However, after the building was built, they had an issue with a roof, and their maintenance guy went to Home Depot and picked up a bucket of Karnak, or basically roofing tar.
Right.
That has asbestos in it. So today, you still can buy product on the open market in commercial settings that have asbestos. All right? Canada did not ban the use of asbestos or the manufacturing, and sheetrock from Mexico and China. We had a big issue about 15 years ago. Drywall coming from Mexico and Canada had asbestos in it. So 74 wasn't the banning of asbestos building products. 74 was the point at which the U.S. said no additional asbestos production can occur. So the mines were shut down. However, everything that was in existing supply were still being utilized.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
But did you know the ancient Egyptians actually knew that asbestos was harmful?
They smoke it.
I don't know,
Oh.
but I learned that the other day,
There we go. Darn asbestos.
5,000
business.
years ago.
That's because they're all dead now.
And it wasn't until 1986 that the federal government passed the HERA Act, the Asbestos Hazardous Emergency Response Act, for public schools, requiring the testing and the HERA reports to be done. So, lo and behold, we've had asbestos. Unfortunately, but look, we found it. It was abated. Now it's gone.
Did vote with that, right?
So we had a motion and a second. Any other questions?
No, I'm good now.
Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor for the 2 Brooks Environmental invoices, one for $800 and one for $2,385.
Aye.
Aye.
And Damien, I looked up the issue with change order number 3, and so the original email that came in from Monica didn't have the change order attached. And then I see that she had sent a supplemental email to Eddie, and so that's where we missed it on our agenda. So there was a change order number 3 that was basically for the prior PCOs that were approved, PCO number 8, number 11, number 12, and number 13, which were approved last month's meeting. Those amounted to $44,017.30. They were captured in our financial report, but that's where
Yep.
those were at.
So moved.
Seconded.
Motion and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And that did include the $35,000 on the asbestos. I will forward an official copy to everybody after the meeting. I think that does take care of invoices, POs, and PO increases for both projects. Next, we have communications. We received one from Laura Barkowski, who's our new land use director, at the request of Inland Wetlands on where we were with the monitoring and progress at the new school. Rob Tenza had sent information back in January and again in March. I re-forwarded to Rochelle, the prior land use director, which outlined the process. I re-forwarded that to Laura Barkowski, which essentially says, yes, Gerber has had people on site, that the continuing reports happen after the end of construction, and that they monitor and they provide like biannual reports for a period of 4 years after the end of the project for wetlands. I have not heard back from her since I sent that information. Two other ones we received. One was a communication with Greg Dembowski regarding the heavy rains the other night, washed sediment from our road work into catch basins, and ultimately catch basins overflowed and into a pool that is at the corner of Rocky Road and Candlewood Lake Road. I called Chris this morning, asked him to just really have a pool guy come out, look at the pool, have it cleaned, and just, it's, you know, for the minimal amount of money, it's not worth arguing about. And it does appear, given the amount of sediment and rock that was in the neighbor's driveway, that it did come from our site. And then the other one, nope, those were the two I received. Okay. So anybody else had communications? Hearing none, we have public comment. We have members of the library committee here.
Hi.
Hi, you want to make any comments?
Well, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Caroline Ford. I'm the new library director. I just started
Yeah.
maybe a couple of days ago.
Welcome.
Welcome, Caroline.
Thank you.
Stay away from that Jessley lady. Oh, so hi, Jessley.
Hi, Josh. I received the emails, thank you. Just trying to stay in the loop and see how we move this forward. I know how challenging it is to try to schedule in the summertime with all the vacations, so if I can help in any way, please let me know.
All right, that
Appreciate
was
that
sort of
very
an
much. Thank you.
informality, but during public comment, you should say your name and address.
Jessley Pineda,
Thank
12
you.
Rescue Drive.
Okay. Okay, any other public comment? Hearing none, old business is the CES walkthrough. Rob?
Basically, I did a walkthrough. I actually did 2 walkthroughs. I did an exterior walkthrough again today. But I have been reaching out to various members of the committee, asking about their availability to do a more formalized walkthrough.
Okay.
And I've been distributing information that we've received that I just wanted, that I felt it was important for everybody to have their hands on, just to become more familiar with what's going on.
Yep, and in that, we've received, you know, reports from Mr. Archer that were distributed. We've received a report from Ralph Tedesco, who's our DPW director, that we've distributed, and then the wealth of information that we had from every other prior committee and commission that kind of looked at this building before us.
Yeah.
So,
I'm a little torn whether I want to taint people's opinions, because I'd like them to be looking at it with fresh eyes and really get their impressions, as opposed to saying, oh yeah, this is what somebody else said, okay.
I understood. I think we have to kind of provide the guideline to say, look, it's informational purposes only. You know, we expect you to really look and assess the condition, not only condition, but the needs of our town, and what our own zoning codes say. Because I sent you that thing, our zoning code, there's an issue with our zoning code. And that's why it's equally important to have members of the zoning commission come to here. I sent those comments off to Laura Barkowski. I sent them to the first select woman. It actually came up on a private school project of ours, where they were not allowed at the Zoning Board of Appeals to have an outside organization come in and rent their space. And in review of the zoning code, our zoning code does not make any exceptions for municipals, for the municipality to exempt itself from the zoning code. Which means we would have the same issue with any other use other than it being an educational facility in the town of Brookfield. I will send you the correspondence.
Please,
I understand that our Fran Lawley, our zoning enforcement officer, is taking a look at it with our town attorney right now. So, that may
Okay.
also predicate, our decision.
Yeah, very definitely.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why it can't be rezoned.
It could be, but then you have to, you can't be prejudicial against and allow a public building and not a private school. Right? So it would be prejudicial to draw that line. More so that the building code and the zoning code have a split because you have an educational occupancy. And as far as Parks and Rec and any other municipal use, that's considered a business use under the building code. So any business use is not an educational use, which the zoning code says you can use it for educational purposes. So that's why any other municipal use may be prohibited unless we rezone these. And that goes for all our schools. That's just not center. So again, there's some things that we need to sort of attack and kind of fix within other areas of our town in the zoning code.
I don't
move
remember
forward.
getting that email from you, so
Well, I'll
please forward
resend
it to me again.
Yep. Send it again right now. Okay. So anything else on Center Elementary? All right, hearing none. Any new business?
Well, just a question on the correspondence we sent in at the last meeting. I didn't get a response on that regarding the conflict on PCO with Tecton.
We've asked Eddie to look at that. So from the municipal building side, you had a question to us. We've asked him to go back and look and provide us all the details of his determination. We understand your standpoint, and that's where, we'll have to come back.
No, it's just a schedule. I'll move on with other stuff in that.
Yeah. And it's just for those few benches. Yeah.
All right, no problem.
Okay. Any other new business? Next meeting is August 15th. Hopefully we'll be walking through a largely completed building. Yes?
Yeah. Sorry.
Good.
Yes.
And any other business? Hearing none, adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.